Olá, bom dia. Alegria, tudo bem?
Bom dia, Carl. You forgot about me.
I am so sorry, but we are so ready for you as well as that. You're absolutely right. Oversight on my part. Today has been a very strange setup. I woke up or came to the office this morning, the studio, to discover I hadn't even scheduled the show last night. And it's been the fact that we're here at all is quite a miracle. And you're adding to that by blessing us with your presence this morning. And I'm so glad that ultimately it has all come together in the way it's done. So apologies for that. Scoop. And I'm so glad you're here because we couldn't get you on earlier on this year with the way the dates fell. I promised you a slot, didn't I, later in the month, and then had an oversight with
Yeah,
that this
it's
morning.
true. It's my first show up this year. You're
It
right.
is. It is. It is. So, how's it going for you? How is 2025 treating you? It's an exciting year, I think, to be in the
Yeah,
business of
sure.
helping
It's
people
it's
move to
been eventful.
Portugal. Anything you want to share with us?
Uh, Insurances in Portugal suck.
As in business insurances, health insurances? Which ones are we
Car
talking about?
insurances. So
Oh,
I got one of my company cars had avaria. So what? How do you translate that? Like
what a crash or what? Or a
no, not a
malfunction?
crash. It was just a component that stopped working and the car stopped
Oh,
working
okay.
in all
Yeah.
itself. And it
Let's go
turns
slow.
out it's a factory thing. And now everyone is just, trying to push the problem to someone else. Like the car guarantee, the brand guarantee says it's outside the period. And now I had to send it out to the stand. And now they are trying to imply that it's not a problem from factory, but they're not doing a very good job because it literally happened a week after it went to inspection on the brand. So they really cannot
No.
say it was due to lack of maintenance. And I've been out of a car for 2 months and kind of improvising thanks to that. And so I
Yes.
had this very improvised trip to the Silver Coast, as I had
Yeah.
told you.
Yes. How was it? Did you have a nice time in my town last weekend?
Yes, I'm just really sad because I was like, I was my original plan because I wasn't able to come last week because I didn't have a car and I couldn't have anyone bring me. And so I was going to come next week. I actually was going to come yesterday. But I did decide to check the weather on like Friday and I realized it's going to be pouring. And pouring is not very compatible with video making. And
Right.
so I kind of ran to the Silver Coast on Friday and did some filming on Friday late afternoon and Saturday. But then Sunday, it was already completely full of clouds, as you know. Like we went to a full blue sky with not a cloud to be seen on Sunday. And then Monday morning, there wasn't a patch of blue sky in the sky.
Yes. What and you said to your mum on Sunday, that's it. We need to get there today. Today is our opportunity. Let's go.
That was on Friday, yeah. But I
Yeah.
didn't manage to do everything I wanted because I was kind of hoping like the weather would keep, being decent, maybe a day longer, like to the yesterday would still be decent. But I didn't even get Sunday because
Mm.
the initial forecast was that Monday was going to be when it starts raining and Sunday would still be decent, but I didn't even have that luck.
Wow. Wow. Did you get anything in the can? Was it in any way successful?
Yeah, I did manage to film Foz do Aralho, Salir do Porto, and São Martinho do Porto.
You
And I
did.
got a bit of Nazaré on Friday, but it was basically just the sunset. And I'm still probably going to launch this video about the Silver Coast and get my agent Diana to do and gather the rest of the filming. I still went to the other locations. I went to Lourinhã and Ericeira. So this video is going to be comparing these cities in this area from Ericeira to Nazaré and a bit of the differences between them so people can understand what would be a better fit for them. As you know, they are quite similar when it comes to climate and landscape, just different sizes and amenities and that kind of thing, prices.
All right. And did you manage to get to the storytellers for lunch?
Yes, it was
Good.
very nice. Actually, we ended up having a very productive conversation about charm hotels. Because as you
Great.
know, I also had my charm hotel project, and he had
Yes.
some guests there that were exactly discussing investment in charm hotels. So it was an interesting coincidence.
I'm so glad. Yeah, because Marco's got some very ambitious plans, hasn't he, to open similar hotels with that similar level of luxury to what you experienced in
Yeah,
other.
I even sent him my project for Aveiro,
Great.
and maybe I'll hear back from him one of these days. But
Oh,
yeah,
I'm so
it
glad to
ends
hear
up
that.
being a similar project to the storytellers.
Fantastic. And did your mum like it?
Yes, the food was amazing, and it was
Great.
very, very artistic too.
Yeah. Oh, I'm so glad. I'm so glad because I didn't hear back from him. I'm thinking, oh dear, maybe that didn't go so well. But
No, no,
they,
that
they,
didn't.
they
I'm
looked
just
after you
terrible.
brilliantly.
I forget to tell people about things.
Between the pair of us, what are we like? Right? Grok, apparently. AI. This is a good, I mean, the letters AI can be found in horseradish. It's probably a great anagram. Look, Grok says horseradish is indeed sold at Caldas, a fruit market.
That's
So,
called rabanete in Portuguese, if I'm not mistaken.
rabanete, did you say?
Rabanete, yes.
Okay. And is it in your family's
My
traditions?
mom
Is it
loves horse dish. Yeah, she likes to put
really?
it. That's the small that kind of looks like a turnip, but it's smaller and goes from white
Yes.
to pinkish. Yes.
I think so. I've not. I don't think I've seen it in its natural form. But what I do remember as a child is staying well away from it because it's like the English wasabi almost. It has that sinus clearing capability that wasabi has, which I think T Duck must like. Fantastic. Fires are still smoking. He's cut his finger. I'm not going to show that picture to everybody, Lee. I'm dead impressed with the buckets of rain we've had all night. So he's out in the rain. Spare a thought for Lee, who's working.
Yeah, and they
In
said there was
in the
going to
rain.
be a thunderstorm today and tomorrow. I still haven't seen any thunder, but
I
we'll
think we're
see.
in for a lot of rain, aren't we, this week? It's true. It's gone
Yeah.
from being the cold
I,
winter back to like last year's wet winter.
as far as I can see, the weather, like my app tells me like 10 days, it's all rain.
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing. That's the forecast I was giving earlier on. But it can change, can't it? In Hertfordshire, fog has disappeared. Now have blue skies. Off to the coffee shop shortly. Have a great day, everyone. And Denise, lovely to see you here. Denise Kearney, good morning. People quite concerned, I think. Oh, rabanete is radish. I believe horseradish is a different vegetable. Okay, thank you for that.
Okay.
Yes, there is similar pungency. I think you're right. Yes, now when you described it as pink to white, that does look like and sound like a radish. I think it's more like maybe a mini parsnip. It looks like, which of course you can go over at Cuvelier. James was asking if it was a Dacia or a Dacia, your car. It sounds like a
No, it
horrible
was
position to be in.
a Peugeot 3008, and apparently that specific model already has a very known factory problem. That is what I had. They even got recalled in France, but we're in Portugal, so no one cares. And
An
I just
added
have to chase
complication.
people around.
Collins, who is our Go Motoring Portugal man, of course, says the best advice on that car problem is search for a forum for that car. I am sure there'll be advice and details how to put pressure on the manufacturer, which I suppose all roads lead, pardon the pun, back to the manufacturer. And what a
I'm
horrible
actually
situation to be in.
trying to deal with the stand where I bought it, because
Yeah.
I bought it semi-new, which, to be honest, is what I recommend to do here in Portugal.
Mhm.
You know, those semi-news from the stands that they use for demonstrations and just employee use and so on. So I bought it with like 10 or 15K kilometers within a year. And supposedly I got the same guarantee that I would get from factory, from new, that would be 3 years. So it's still within the stand guarantee. So
Right.
I'm hoping that eventually they solve the problem, but it's been 2 months. Like everything in Portugal, it takes forever and it's driving me crazy.
Well, I hope, I wish for you a speedy resolution on that. It's not good for the company or the stand, is it, that you've been dealing with and their reputation. And I suppose that when companies can blame each other, sometimes that's when it goes horribly wrong like
But
that.
to be fair, it was also kind of my fault of not knowing how these things operate, because I initially sent it to the brand stand closest to where the problem was. And it was also where it did the inspection like a week before, because they had a malfunction exactly a week after the inspection, which was very suspicious, to be honest.
Yes,
And
there is that.
and so I sent it to the same place, and they just took forever to give me a reply. First, they were like sending me a fatura bill of 5,000 for the repair, and I'm like, I'm not
What?
paying that.
Right.
Yes. And
Okay.
my agent Marco, he was the one that used that car. He was like, "This is a more than known factory problem." And
Yes.
so I started like, dude, I'm not going to pay for that. This is a factory problem.
Yep.
And then the brand was like, oh, we don't care because it's outside of the brand guarantee, because the brand guarantee apparently in Peugeot is 3 years, which I do think it's kind of ridiculous for a car. I
Yeah.
mean, you buy a car, those car new that they cost like 45,000 or something, and you only get a guarantee for 3 years. Come on, I have travel luggage with more guarantee than that.
You're right. There is a problem with car manufacturers in Portugal.
But
So you see this from Coach Turner. They tend to have an Iberian HQ. So Portugal suffers from being a smaller market. Better support in Spain, I
yeah,
suspect.
probably.
Yeah, and Lila is
And yeah, and so the brand guarantee had ended in March 2024, and the malfunction happened in November 2024. So it was out of the period, and so I didn't know what I had to do, but I only found out like a month later, when I was kind of screaming at everyone at this point, and they were like, "Oh, you have to bring it to the shop, the car shop from the stand where you bought it." So I had to pay for it to get towed from one car shop to the other. And now they are kind of slowly analyzing it in this other car shop.
Well, I never. Okay, well, French cars getting a little bit of a bad press this morning. Hyundai has a 7-year warranty. There you go. Maybe next time on that. Now, the big question when you're with us, of course, look, Savvy Cat, your guide to relocating to Portugal. This is what Anna Karamuja does, who's with us this morning. How has it been going into the new year? What's new in your business? I'm guessing it's quite an exciting time to be doing what you're doing, Anna.
Yeah, it's been quite busy. This is probably the most calls we've had per week in 2 or 3 years, probably like 3
Really?
years probably. We've
Wow.
had like
Good for you.
14 calls when we booked in the first week after we got back from vacation. So definitely a lot of interest showing, especially with the US market and the whole Trump situation. Another thing that I discovered recently, and I don't know if you are up to date on it, and I was quite surprised, is this new tax that Spain is trying to implement of non-European Union
Yep.
residents. Have
Yes,
you been
indeed.
discussing that?
Well, I did. I mentioned it yesterday morning, and it's over on the website. And it's the idea that Portugal might copy Spain, who haven't actually, to be fair, they've not put it into law yet, have they? This 100%
No,
tax.
they didn't even show any interest. I think there was like Greece and Italy said they were interested in doing the same, but the Portuguese government has not pronounced themselves. I do think it would be kind of silly given they already removed all the other expats programs that they had.
Yeah.
So if they did something like that, it would be kind of killing the market. And I don't think that would be good for the government at all. So
No.
if they did something like that, they would have to re-implement at least something like either the NHR or the golden visa for housing, because the measure itself, it's not that horrible. It doubles the tax that it would be the EMI tax, so the EMT tax, so the transaction tax when foreigners buy the property. So it gets a bit more, and it can be quite a bit. I mean, EMT, as you know, it can be like 15, 30K, depending on the price of the property. So doubling that, it's quite a bit of money. But,
Well,
well,
100%, as you say, would be very well, it would be very injurious to the country's reputation around the world, wouldn't it? And attractiveness, I suppose, more to the point. And I think often
but I do think as
foreigners
things
love that
are,
sort of.
and if Portugal doesn't follow Spain in that measure, and Spain did implement that measure, but they did also pick up on some other programs that were attractive from what I'm not exactly within that, but I am under that impression that when Portugal banned the NHR and the golden visa, Spain picked up some things and presented some programs.
Yeah.
So on the other hand, I do think that if Portugal doesn't follow on this proposal, it's likely that we will have an extra influx to Portugal, because a lot of people from the US end up choosing Spain because there's a lot of people speaking Spanish in the US due to the proximity to Mexico. And probably Portugal would likely be the next option.
Yes. So if they don't do it, if the Portuguese government doesn't do it, it will make Portugal even more attractive compared to Spain. And I think the sequence of events with this and the Portuguese, if you want to talk to him about this tonight, come and join us because we probably will mention this. He did a video straight away hearing about this, and the way it came to him was via an English newspaper that picked up on this fact that Spain were thinking about it and Portugal might copy it. Now,
I don't think the Portuguese government has pronounced itself on it at all so far.
Exactly.
So
it's
that's
speculation.
positive.
It's speculation
Yeah.
from a British newspaper, and British newspapers love this sort of story. So, but by the end of it, you're thinking, actually, the government are thinking of doing this when it's not. You know, one government spokesperson in Portugal, maybe from a left wing party that thinks, yeah, tax the foreigners. This is killing our, the housing possibilities for our local people. Put a massive tax on them. They only need to say that to a newspaper in Portugal. A British paper might pick up on it, and before you know it, they're saying, "Yeah, they're going to put 100%." You know, and I think this has got completely out of hand. It's unlikely that Spain's parliament will pass this proposal, says Paul as well. Media sensationalism. Say it's not so. Yeah, silly me. How naive of me to even have to explain
I've
that.
also commented that when I first heard about that, I was like, I don't know if this will go through, because it's kind of balanced discrimination. And even if the Spanish parliament manages to approve it, I am not so sure it would be within European Union regulations.
Yeah.
And we've seen stuff like this happen in the past, like governments trying to approve certain measures and they've been backtracked in European Union.
Yeah.
So we will see.
And also, there's no guarantees, Anna. If you do pay 100% tax in Spain, that doesn't mean you're guaranteed not to be sprayed with a water pistol when you're sat outside a Barcelona tapas bar. You want a guarantee of that if you've paid 100% tax, I'm sure. Before you go, we are past our usual 9 o'clock end time, but it's lovely hanging out and talking with you and finding out what's going on with you. If people want to come and explore with you, they like the sound of what you're saying, they like the offer that your company has, how should they get in touch, and what offers have you got at the moment for them?
You can check out our website in www.savvycatrealty.com. We have support both for rentals and for purchases. We are a team full of locals, and our main concern is for clients to make reliable and sustainable choices, either when renting or when purchasing. And we are definitely concerned about not inflating the prices more than necessary. We also work from a lifestyle perspective and try to help people match with the right location, whether that be a neighborhood or a town, for them to match their own particular needs, which, as we all know, differ a lot from person to person.
Yeah.
And expats are not supposed to know the country well. I mean, they are just getting here.
Yeah.
So we are here to help you find out where is best for you, and then help you all the way through until you are settled here, whether that be rental or purchase.
It's the opposite of the experience of finding all this out through social media, isn't it? Other foreigners advising you, who, when you go back to speak to them or question them about something, either get angry or who have disappeared. You're going to get some proper hand holding and some proper insight from real Portuguese people with the Savvy Cat Realty team, led by Anna, who you see on the screen here. Anna, sorry about the earlier mix-up. I'm glad we ended up having our conversation. Sorry to hear about your car. And I hope that's resolved for you soon. And we'll see you again next month at the normal time. Right?
It's actually like 2 weeks from now, right? Because of this delay. Like, we see it on the 7th. So
we see you on the first Friday normally, don't we? And
yeah.
it was because of the way the things fell, we didn't get to see you. But I'm glad we've put that right now. Yeah, good luck with the car, and looking forward to your video of the Silver Coast. When might that be out?
Probably not this Friday, but either next Friday or the one after. And I'm thinking it's probably that Friday, not this week, but next week.
Very good. Look forward to that. That might be the Friday you're on here. So
yeah, maybe.
All right. All the best to you. Love to the team, and take care. And bye for now. Ciao.